push that ball upfield.
Good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. All right.
We'll take from there, Steve. We will see you tomorrow.
No.
All right, Gruber, everybody. All right, folks, 4 o'clock Monday. Markets are closed. Let's take a look and see what we have. All right, the Dow Jones, a little bit of a up day. It was running around up and down just a little bit all day. S&P was up most of the day. Nasdaq was the strongest of the three. I have it up 107. I don't know, maybe, Mad Dog, see what happens if we refresh that screen. Just see what happens. Just see what, we pull it away, put it back up, the numbers change. Let's see what happens. Let's take a peek. There it is. See that? Refreshed. 107 on NASDAQ, Dow 68. Gold was up $50 an ounce, folks. $50 to the ounce, as they say. Look at that number below. Oil down $2.50. That is good news for markets. Jump over to crypto. This is a good one. I'm loving this today. Crypto market was very strong. Bitcoin all the way up to 114,300. We left Friday, it was 109,000 and change. It's been getting beat up. This is one nice move up today. Ethereum up good across the board, the XRP. And we always talk about CRO, all strong in the crypto markets. All right, let's do this. Let's move on. Next guest started out as an investigative journalist and anchor woman in Mexico who was the target of an assassination attempt for denouncing organized crime, cartels, and government corruption. She's carried on this fight to rid Mexico of crime and has called out Mexican President Sheinbaum and the Morena regime for their alliance between government and the cartels. Very happy to have Senator Lilly Téllez, I should say, along with our RAV border correspondent, Oscar Ramírez, with us. Welcome, Senator, and welcome, Oscar. I'm going to start with you, Oscar, very quick. Thank you so much for bringing Senator Téllez to the show. We've been talking a lot about what's going on with cartels in Mexico. Get to you in 1 second. Oscar, update us. Last we saw you was Friday. We had Trish McLaughlin on. Any news of the cartels? What's the latest on you? Everyone wants to know what's going on with Oscar.
Everything is okay. Everything, is under security. And we have been doing some multiple reportings on what is going on the mass graves on the east side of the city of Tijuana, which the cartel continues to operate. Ms. Téllez is going to openly talk about, how she has been a Mexican hero fighting against the corrupt government inside of our country of Mexico, and also fighting against, the violence that is coexisting right now in our country.
Let me speak to you, Senator, if I may, and I'm just going to speak very concisely and slowly because I want you to understand, because I know there's maybe a bit of a language barrier. Senator, are you nervous because you've pushed back against the cartels, you've pushed back against Sheinbaum, the president? Are you concerned for your safety and your well-being, as I believe Oscar is or should be?
Hello, Eric. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this invitation. Well, of course, I am nervous. I'm a human being, and this is a very dangerous country. And me, as an opposition, even when I was a reporter, journalist, but I am a Catholic, and I have faith in God, and I know I have to go on in this fight to help my country, Mexico, from the denouncing the corruption and this kind of association, criminal association with the cartels and the government. So I won't step back. I'm a little, well, of course I'm afraid, but I'm a human being, as I tell you. But I won't step back. I have faith in God that I am doing what is right.
Senator, tell us the position you are in. In other words, here in the United States, there's the president, there's the Senate, and there are the House of Representatives, basically the power structure of government here. Do senators in Mexico have a similar level of power as U.S. senators? President having the ultimate power, senators are pretty much next to the president as far as powers and control of government?
No. In Mexico, senators, we don't have that kind of power. And now in Mexico, it's like a monarchy. This is not a republic anymore. That is very important for people to know. Mexico is not a republic anymore because the president just robbed the Supreme Court and all the lower courts with a false majority, with a majority that is not real. And she and she is the boss of all the senators of her party, and she is now the boss of all the judges, of all the judiciary in Mexico, and she is also the president. So we don't have in my country a republic anymore. She is following the steps of Venezuela. The next thing she is going to do is she wants to take away, of course, the media to control everything, because the reality is getting through the social, through TikTok, through Twitter, Instagram, But she is very worried. She doesn't want Mexicans to see what's happening in Mexico. So she's going to do what the Venezuelan dictator did. That's to take all of the media to continue telling lies to Mexico. She is constantly telling Mexicans that the United States wants to invade our country, and that's a lie.
So now, do I understand it correctly that the cartel actually have people within your government, almost like plants to sway your government, maybe even shine bomb? And why is she so deferential to the cartel when President Trump says, we'll send military, we'll send help, and she says, no, we don't need it. Clearly you need it. Oscar Ramírez right here has shown us mass graves, dead people, refrigerators dumped with bodies thrown on the side of the road. We're going to show some of this stuff. There's clearly a problem with the cartels, their murderous ways, but why does Sheinbaum refuse to take the help, the assistance of the U.S. government?
Because there is a real association between the cartels and the government. The cartels are so rich. It's such a huge quantity of money they have. They give this money to the political candidates of the left, of her party, of Morena party. So when they get into office, when they have the power, they have to protect the cartels. And that is the truth. That is why she doesn't want more help from the United States. She even called me a traitor, and all her party is calling me a traitor just because I said that Mexico that Mexicans are okay with help to fight cartels. The crime in Mexico is so high, the country is so dangerous, and the association between the cartels and the government is so deep. It's so deep in the government that even that here in Mexico we have armed forces to fight against it. There is not the order from the president. The president in Mexico is the supreme chief of the armed forces, and she doesn't give the orders to go against it. Clearly, she doesn't. She even has in the Senate the leader of the Morena party is linked with a very dangerous cartel, and she supports him in the Senate. This is crazy to have. This man sits just a few meters from me, and we all know in Mexico.
So you're sitting in a room as a fellow senator with a leader of the cartel, of one of the cartels. That's wild. Can I ask you where she is on the mass immigration that's happening that from Central and South America that passed through Mexico into our country? Does she have any interest in stopping that flow?
Well, just a few months ago, there was a communication from the United States here in Mexico asking Mexicans not to go to the United States as illegal migrants, because they said that Trump was going to be tough on illegal migrants. And she was very angry that this message was sent through national TV in Mexico. And I wonder, why doesn't she want the Mexicans to know that if they go illegally to the United States, they are going to face the law? they are going to face justice, and they are going to get back to Mexico, and that it is illegal. So that's she wants the money that migrants make in the United States to come to Mexico, and she doesn't want the Mexican forces to really stop the cartels of the cartels who get illegal migrants from Mexico and Central America and South America to the United States. There are many corridors, illegal corridors in the border, in states like Baja California, Sonora, Tamaulipas, that they are doing such a huge amount of money trafficking with persons to the United States.
Right. Allow me to jump in, if I may, Senator Téllez. We've had Oscar on. I brought in the Deputy Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, who's concerned for Oscar. You tell me, is Oscar or his family in imminent danger, given what we know that the cartels or someone who was armed, a couple of armed thugs showing up, trying to enter his, and we're showing the video, enter his community. Is he in danger?
Oscar is in danger, of course, and we must notice that Mexico is one of the most dangerous countries in the world for journalists. There are so many journalists killed in Mexico, and in front of Sheinbaum, no one can dare to tell the truth in this country, because she gets mad and all the government goes against you. And there are so many territories. There was an ambassador, an American ambassador in Mexico, that said that some years ago, that a huge part of the Mexican territory is controlled by cartels. We all Mexicans know about it, but families cannot speak it out loud.
It's amazing.
They have to speak it in their homes.
It's amazing.
So Oscar is in danger,
Senator,
yes.
I want to tell you, we're going to get short on time. Very quickly, Oscar, you hear her? She says you're in danger. Please take care of you and your family. Also, Oscar, do you think the senator is in danger for speaking out like this? Very quickly.
She's the only one that is speaking out in Mexico. She's the only one that has been exposing this. That's why Mexicans need to support her 100%. More than exposing the leaders of the cartels, she's exposing dirty politicians. That is the number one thing that nobody has had the courage to do so. Lilly Téllez, we need to support her. She is the only hope for our country to continue to move forward and to continue to fight this leftist narrative that it wants to take us to this, agenda, exactly like Venezuela, like she's exactly saying.
All right, we're gonna have to leave it there. We want both of you guys to be safe, and I will, if you're with your permission, Senator, add your name when we talk to the Department of Homeland Security again on Oscar's behalf to keep both of you folks in their sights, because I just don't want you to put risks. It's important what you do, but we don't want your lives at risk. Senator Lilly Téllez, Mexican Senator, thank you. Oscar Ramírez, El Blue, thank you both so much. Stay safe, you two.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks, when inflation jumps, when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion, well, maybe, do you ever think maybe now would be a good time to buy some gold, whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification? Birch Gold Group believes every American should own physical gold, and so they created something very special. Get this, until September 30th, which is tomorrow, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of $10,000, up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit right now. Just text the word America to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k out of whatever investment it has into gold. And you're still eligible for a rebate and free metals of up to $10,000. Birch Gold is the only precious metal company I trust, as do their tens of thousands of customers. So make right now the time to make your first buy in gold and take advantage of a rebate of up to $10,000 when you buy by the end of business tomorrow. We got 36 more hours. All right, folks, no politics in this one, just how to re-rack your brain. The Edge is live on YouTube. Watch. via testosterone. Aside from, however, the biochemical things that are going on in your body, it also it tells your brain, I guess it entices your brain into wanting to do more, wanting to lift more, wanting to walk further, run further, and becoming stronger. That's an interesting concept. That's not is it medical? Is it biochemical?
It's really not medical. In other words, there's no like receptors in your brain that testosterone affects that are like called the pleasure or enjoyment, receptors. So when you exercise or whatever. So I think what that is, though, there are receptors that involve, motivation. It affects the neuronal circuits for motivation. It affects the neuronal circuits for your sort of reward system, your emotional processing, your sense of well-being.